Hey, let's look at April 19 and 20 together again. April 19 is again the book of Joshua, chapter 19 and 20, as well as April 20th, Joshua 20 and 21 and 22. All of these are dealing with those specific delineations of towns and properties and territories. All of them very good. But when you get to the end of today's reading, 21:45, there's a summary that is given. It says, so the Lord, this is a summary of the delineation of properties, so to speak, okay? And it's, so the Lord gave to Israel all the land he'd swore to their ancestors. The Lord gave them rest. None of their enemies could stand against them. Verse 45, not a single one of all the good promises the Lord had given to the family of Israel was left unfulfilled. Everything he had spoken came true. This is what the writer of the editor, the final compiler of the book of Joshua wants the people to recognize, is that God will keep his word, and his promises are good, and they're good for us, and he will keep his word. And I realize that at times we can say, well, it feels like things aren't the way they're supposed to be, and that's probably a longer conversation for another day, but let me summarize it with this quick word, is that if what is out here feels differently than what is in here, then what is out here needs to change. We don't revise and modify your doctrine, your theology to accommodate your experience. Let your experience become informed and shaped and transformed because of what you read. Let what you believe to be true change what you do and how you pray, and then never give up, never let off the gas. This is what God's design and desire is. He desires his good promises to prevail in our life without fail. Don't ever let there be a quiet voice in the back of your mind that say, well, some of the promises God really he means, but not the other ones. That is not you. We don't have Bible for that. You say, well, I have experience for it. Maybe so, but that doesn't mean that it's God's intent or design. That means somewhere something has gone off kilter, and we can seek the Lord's help and grace and redemption, and we should contend for God's best regardless of our circumstances. We should keep contending and looking for God's very best in our life. Luke chapter 19 and 20, as we are winding things down, that we have the story of the Palm Sunday episode with Jesus and the Jerusalem that we went over just not too long ago in the book of Matthew. In Luke 20, Jesus tells them this parable about people that were poor stewards of the poor tenants of a farm, and that there was judgment that was coming to them. Now, he was specifically talking about, he was warning the people of Israel that they had been poor stewards of their covenant, and they had rejected every prophet, and ultimately they would reject the Son. In fact, they knew about that. The teachers of the law and the leading priests wanted to arrest Jesus because they realized he was telling the story against them. And so some commentators, historians, accused Luke of anti-Semitism, and that's ridiculous because Jesus is a Jew. He's not being anti-Semitic, but he is illustrating that, particularly for the first audience, that there was a departure, that Christianity, although is a result, is the true expression of the vine of the covenant of Abraham, that Judaism as a husk departed when they rejected Messiah. Their rejection of Messiah is clear, and they step outside and begin to function, and there's a definite judgment addressed against them. But the point is not for us to point our fingers and go, yeah, look what happened there. The point is for us to say, we too need to always be careful that we are stewarding the promises of God, that we are stewarding the mission of God, that what he has entrusted to us, we care for in a way that we're not acting like it's ours, but that we remember that this belongs to the Lord, and that we are just stewards of all of this, and that we too will be held accountable for all of those things. Then this is a great one. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God. When you there is a difference, honor the government, but honor God. If it belongs to him, you belong to him, we belong to him. Let me just read this psalm of Ethan if I will, at least a few verses of it. I will sing of the Lord's unfailing love forever. Young and old will hear of your faithfulness. Your unfailing love will last forever. Your faithfulness is as enduring as the heavens. Let me just read it one more time. I will sing of the Lord's unfailing love forever. Young and old will hear of your faithfulness. Your unfailing love will last forever. Your faithfulness is as enduring as the heavens. May the Lord bless and encourage you today with his faithfulness as we remember to be good and faithful stewards of what is his, not only as tenants, but as those who are marked with the image of God. If the coins are marked with Caesar, give the coins to Caesar, but you, my friend, are marked. You are the image bearer and you belong to God. Live unto him.